Previously on Daily Racer.
One thing about Mid-Ohio, this is the slickest track in North America when it gets wet.
Leichty said he's never felt it this slick before, so just remember that.
For those that don't know, Wade Renee Hines is your race director this weekend.
It's like I didn't come here just to be a cheerleader.
In the middle of a worldwide pandemic and in the middle of Ohio, we found a balance somehow that allows us to still enjoy the sport of auto racing. Even though the season began just months ago in Austin, it feels like it's been a decade since we've had any kind of normalcy. And through it all, in the middle of an ongoing storm of chaos, confusion, and cancellation, Gridlife prevails. This morning, Gridlife Touring Cup returns to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, the winding 2.26-mile, 13-turn road course for the fourth round of the season.
Mid-Ohio has a really unique personality in that it is a pro racing track, but it kind of feels like a club track from the 60s, which it is.
Even the pros view this track as one of those really bad, scary tracks in the rain. It's just what it is. Doesn't matter how good you are, if you push it too far, you're going to go off. And so we all just got to win if we stay consistent and don't crash, you could probably win. He said they were expecting the auto race this spring out here. There were 6 guys in a row that were leading that went off right by the river. 6 in a row, one's leading, off. Next one's leading, off. Next one's leading, off. The last guy went off, hit the wall, put it in gear, got back on the track in second, and finished first. It's gonna be good. It's called the rain dance, dude. That's what that's gonna be, the rain dance.
So they've apparently named the entire track. So there's China Beach. It's a downhill, seems like off camber turn. That seems a little, if you go into it, if you don't touch the apex soon enough, it seems like you'll go out wide. And there's China Beach. That's a little scary. There's a sand pit on the other side. And then Thunder Valley, that can be a little sketchy. So there's certain sections that I think that will be a little scary, but you know what? That's racing. So my fuel pressure is really low and we can't figure out why.
We're a little bit stumped on this. It's not that we're losing or don't have fuel pressure. We're starting off with fuel pressure and it's just gradually going down.
Mind-blowing, right?
Well, because it worked great at RPM. We had no issues, right?
Yeah.
And then it died on the way to the trailer, right?
You know, Josh and Dean and Gil, I feel pretty confident about the car. So I don't have to sit there and think about, hey, did I tighten this bolt? You know, is the tire pressure set? Is the car fueled up? I mean, those guys take that away from me and they make it so that I can focus on driving.
Here at Team Myriad Motorsports, we like working on our cars instead of driving them.
Unfortunately, Tiff, you know the drill for hardship lap. You just go out at the front of advance and do an out man.
Still losing pressure. We don't even want to go out. I mean, we'll go out and the engine will blow up. We're going to change the pump and it's going to fix it.
All right, we think that's what it is? Is that what we're positive about?
That's wrong, man.
Tiffany,
Yes.
we don't do the are you positive thing.
Well, I
Tiffany's
mean,
positive.
If we're positive,
We fixed
wait.
I think, Tiffany, are you positive it's broken?
Yeah, are you sure it's not just a fluke and it's fine and it's just you?
I hate you guys.
I knew it was you.
All right.
This whole time.
We have a pump on the E85 tank on the truck, and we're going to use that extra pump on the S2000. We think we messed up the pump last time we fixed it, running it on low voltage.
If that fixed, we got to hear all night about Jake being like, I told you it was a fuel pump.
You better change your fuel pump, bro.
How we review incidents on track with GLTC is the race director puts together a group of your peers.
I didn't know I touched anybody. Everybody touched me. Who was the other car?
If there's an issue on track, they review the reports by the court orders and they review videos from the cars involved and the cars around them, and they make a decision on where that's going to go.
Emil went by me on the left-hand side under the bridge. Is that where they're saying it happened?
Yeah.
Could have happened. I didn't know what happened.
And so that's what I'll go talk to Emil, and if both of you say, right, I'm going to let it go.
Yeah. Tell Emil he owes me a wheel, but...
Yeah.
And the worst part is the river's the second turn of the race. The river's right there.
Dude, with 40 cars.
With 40 cars, 3x3, dude. It's going to be gnarly.
I've been kind of in proximity to GLTC since it started. I've worked with Gridlife for a long time. I've been kind of a pro driving ambassador.
I was here for the first event, which was actually Mid-Ohio last year.
And that first weekend, a couple of the cars just tended to mesh in lap time, but mostly just the camaraderie and the attitude. I think everybody was looking for something fresh.
I was like, with who? Yeah, no worries, man. That's my bad. I didn't know. You owned your wheel.
Yeah.
Did it touch your wheel?
it like I've got a machine finish on the lip of my wheel, and it's like got like a black scuff to it. But, yeah.
His is a little shady.
You want me to clean your wheel for you?
It was just one of the best events I ever had, which is kind of why after that event I basically focused 100% on GLTC, just because it was fun. All my friends were there, and it was like some of the best racing I ever had.
To me, it's the coolest, if you want to call it club racing, that there is.
Just talent everywhere. It's crazy from all sorts of motorsports backgrounds.
I've finished third and fourth in races, and I think those are some of my favorite races. One, because the races were good, and two, because the people in front of me worked for it and earned it. And it's just cool to see somebody hustle the ever-living heck out of their car.
The talent of this field, even though it's amateur racing, club racing, whatever you want to call it, is absolutely every bit as high as any pro race I've ever been in, and any pro paddock I've been in. It's like spectacular driving.
We're gonna run the newer tires, the ones that are brand new from Autobahn, on qualifying. We're just trying to put a good time down, because that should be qualifying for race 1 tomorrow.
I'll tell you how fast that turn is. The Honey Badger CRX is a lifting car. No brakes. Wow. That's a fast turn. But you're not getting any practice.
I'm not getting any practice. I've put like done 5 laps today.
Here, you're on and off the throttle, and it's a problem. But I don't know if that's... But here, you're 100% on the throttle.
That's what I'm talking about. It's so weird. What is it?
That's not normal.
I know.
Same thing, Tiff?
So, okay, please watch the video. You gotta watch the video, because we can't do this, and I need you to take it down the street, because I'm not gonna do this whole, I'm gonna wait for an entire channel.
The issue is that the car was tuned without a fuel pressure. So it was set 50 PSI, period, that's what it says, it never changes. Then when you open the sensor and they turn that on, now the ECU is trying to compensate by itself for a change in fuel pressure. The fuel pressure is only changing 2 to 4 PSI, and that's normal.
Right.
But it's not tuned for that. So now the ECU is trying to compensate by changing timing and a bunch of other crap. That's why it's running bad. So we fixed the fuel issue. That pump is bad. Mm-hmm. So we just need to get it reverted back to static fuel pressure like around that car. Mm-hmm. So it needs to be dumber, basically.
It's not that it's skittish. It's sloppy. The
It's
whole
slow.
car's rolling like this.
Is there anywhere like when you're off throttle that it comes loose?
Yes.
It does. So don't stiffen the rebound much, but stiffen the compression then, just on the rear.
The diff is fixed.
If for some reason Justin and Tiffany are behind me, either one of them, and I gotta let them pass. Last weekend I was on probation, the last race that we did out of Autobahn. I was just being conservative. I want to get off probation, be back to be able to try, sort of drive like Jake drives.
All right, so hopefully you and Justin got to do a little recap so we're all on the same page in the future when it won't happen. Each of you made one change before RPM, and it was one of you that had the problem. Sounds good? Let's figure that out next time.
For Saturday, Gridlife, we have a little bit of rain, track's a little bit wet. We're putting the rain tires on. Last night we changed springs in the cars knowing it was going to be wet this morning. So the cars are much, much softer than they are for the dry setup. It's just damp this morning so far. We're going to go out and scrub the rain tires since they're new and get prepared for this afternoon's definitely wet rain race.
I have no reins, so we're going to run Hoosier Slicks on one of the sketchiest rain courses in the country.
The field driving in the rain on slicks, the car is just absolutely slick. It's sliding all over the place. As soon as you put these on, it's not slick anymore. It's just like driving your regular daily driver in the rain. You can't quite go as fast as you normally would, but you don't have to slow down very much.
So right now I'm going to get lucky for practice session here. It's going to be dry enough for slicks to work. This afternoon,
I come out of the carousel, and there's like 5 sprinkles in the windshield.
Yeah, I know.
Immediately the track is
I couldn't
worthless.
tell. Couldn't tell if it was the person in front of me or the wing. We were in a group.
Yeah.
And then hit the first brake check. Yeah.
What the hell? Like, what? We took it on the dyno. I don't understand.
I hadn't gotten smoked until I spun. Or it went off.
Dude, what a
good
time out there,
huh?
Even when it was drying, it was faster on the rain line usually.
Yeah.
Until I started seeing like
How
5
about that?
raindrops.
That's exactly what I said. 5 sprinkles.
Done.
Track gone.
Done.
We put the car on the dyno yesterday to fix the tune, and we logged it, fixed everything, and apparently it didn't save to the computer. They didn't save it, so then I basically went out to practice with the old tune that was broken up and bad, and that's why it wasn't working out at the race. So now they're going to download the new one that we fixed yesterday on the dyno, and my car should be fixed, hopefully. Yeah.
We're gonna leave the reins on until we get ready to go out. If it looks like it's gonna
If
be
the
dry
track
and
is
stay
like
dry,
this,
these
the reins are fast.
The slicks are going to be better.
Jake, put the slicks on.
I'll die in Hoosiers out there. If it sprinkles and I come next to you in the corner, it's done.
Those are not going to be any better.
Yes, they are better than Hoosier slicks.
Man, when you roll up the grid so far this year, and last year was the same, it's way too hot for me. I'm in a suit, I'm in a helmet, I sweat. Like, I can tie a zip tie and I start sweating. But I know that what I need to be doing is I need to be on the steering wheel, and I need to be close my eyes and I need to think about the corners. And if I can't envision the whole track, then I have learning to do. So you have to be able to visualize the entire track, which corners, you know, what the numbers of those corners are, and knowing kind of where your turning points are. You can sit in your car in pit and you can just think about it. And if you've done the track enough, you should be able to walk through the entire track in your mind.
I want to talk about Tom O'Gorman. He's been competitive in GLTC before, but now he's in his own race car. It's a bright yellow S2000. It'll be starting in 12th. You can't miss it. It's got Tom Blue on it. You can't miss it, starting in 12th. I think Tom's car is a little overweight for the class today, but if it rains later, that car is going to be fast.
And he's going to be a force to be reckoned with, I agree.
coming for Justin. I was coming for him. If I would have had slicks on, it would have been game over. I would have been 2, 3, 4 more positions up, but had a hell of a battle with Sally. She beat me on 200. She had Toyos, but that was a blast.
How'd it go, Tiffany? Car run good? Yeah. Rain tires was not the right decision.
Felipe borrowed me his street tires. They were a good choice for the first half of the race and not as good for the second half.
I went door to door with a lot of people out there, and I was just like, I'm going to stay here and you can decide. But actually, there was a couple of them. I definitely had to stamp the brakes.
Should have been on slicks, huh?
I should have won. I would have been way up there on slicks.
I told you.
I would have crushed it, dude.
So those tires are going to be worse, rain or dry.
I have a lot to practice out there, so hopefully I can get better. And the car ran.
You know, it's just kind of a gamble trying to find the advantage that we can get, and sometimes you just go the wrong direction. You know, we should have definitely ran the dries, but what can you do?
Just a couple drivers I need to talk to. Tiffany's just one of them. It's gonna be funny when
I can't even take like a 5-minute break.
the driver complaint that I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to follow us throughout the whole season.